Hey folks, it is ExParrot back for more. Uh, Been 3 weeks off actually at the moment. I had 2 weeks where I was sick and practically had no voice and was constantly plagued with coughing fits. That makes it kind of hard to stream in an environment where you're talking on a regular basis. And then I was on vacation the week after visiting my twin brother in San Diego, thanks to my awesome wife. So between the two, it made it kind of difficult to stream, but here I am, back again, ready to do some ranked Ravnica Allegiance draft, because I'm still not feeling standard. I have not found a deck that I really feel like playing for a long period of time. Even mono red is just kind of getting I'm not a big fan of the Esper Control or mono blue tempo decks that are popular in standard right now. So, you know, draft being my favorite format next to sealed, I might as well go ahead and just draft. Alright, so there's two kinds of major drafts. Let me go ahead and go back to home here. So you have the traditional draft Ravnica Allegiance or ranked draft Ravnica Allegiance. The traditional draft runs 1,500 gems. You get a number of booster packs for winning equal to 1 plus your number of wins. 2 losses, excuse me, 2 match losses and you're out, and it's best 2 out of 3. What I'm looking at doing is ranked Ravnica Allegiance draft, where the number of booster packs you're going to get is less, but also costs only 750 gems. This one is best of 1 matches, 3 game losses and you're out, 7 game wins, and you get the top prize. Break-even point is technically between 5 and 6 wins. 5 wins, only 5 wins, and you're 100 gems short of what you paid. 6 wins, and you're actually gaining 100 gems out of the deal. So let's see if I can't get this going. Need to change this around. Alright, clear the stage, not a bad removal card. Bedazzle has its moments, but I really don't care for Bedazzle. Law Mage's Binding, decent control card, but it kind of locks you into Azorius. Steeple Creeper's not a bad creature. Thought Collapse. Passion Orador is not a bad creature. I mean, it's a grizzly bear, basically. Except you gain the additional advantage of Soul Warden. I'm going to go ahead and take this removal card. Because it's only a single black, more easily splashed. It leaves me open for other options. As you'll note, I actually have a web camera now. So you can see me in all of my glory. And my mess behind me. So Grotesque Demise. Noxious Grudian is just an annoying creature to have to deal with. Scorchmark is not a bad removal spell. Grasping Thrall is a great creature. Again, as though it's going to lock you into the Orzhov white-black colors. That's not necessarily a bad thing. Repudiate Replicate. Again, not a bad card. Locks you in the Simic colors pretty well. I'm going to go ahead and take... I'm going to take the Grudian. I'm not sure if it's better than the other removal spell. Sorry, I seem to have an itchy upper lip and nose this evening. I'm going to take the Grasping Thrall. It's in my colors. It's a great, great, great card. Oh my goodness, there's another one. And a Blade Juggler. I like the Blade Juggler, though. And Consigned to the Pit. I'm going to take the Blade Juggler and hope Consign wheels. Twilight Panther, not a bad creature with me. Actually having access to black because it becomes a Death Touch creature anytime. If I were building Gates, Gates Ablaze would be a great card. Applied Biomancy, not a bad card. Neither Scuttle Gator, although a bit pricey. Here we have Noxious Grudion number 2 or Grasping Thrall. I'm going to take the Grudion. I know the Thrall's probably a better creature. Oh, final payment. That's a snap pick for me. And now we have nothing exciting. I'm going to go ahead and take the Bring to Trial because it's actually in my colors, but I don't know if I'll end up playing it. Ugh, my colors appear to be getting picked over. I'm going to take the Locket. I may have to move into red and go 3 colors here. I don't care for Watchful Giant. I think it's not enough for the mana cost. Drill Bit's not bad, but it's not a card I want to draw on turn 10 when we're both practically in Hellbent state of having no cards in hand. Rally to Battle is not bad, but it's pretty expensive for a combat trick. I'm going to take the Trumpeter in case I have to go into red. Knight of Sorrows, not a great card. I'm actually going to take the Quench in case I need to splash blue. Oh, now I've got 2 good choices here. Dead Revels is not a bad card to have one of. Grasping Thrall is a great creature. I'm going to take the Thrall. It's probably the wrong play. Has the Officer. Really? I'm going to move the Azorius Locket straight to the sideboard. And the Rakdos Locket. We'll go ahead and move that one to the sideboard too. Alright. I don't have a lot of multicolored cards yet, but Hero of Precinct 1 certainly isn't bad. Not the most spectacular either, all things considered. Carnival Carnage is a great card. I don't have red, but it could be splashed. Summary Judgment's a good one. I think I'll probably take the removal of Summary Judgment. If I were in Gruul, Savage Smash, great card. There was an Orzhov Locket as well, but oh wow, Unbreakable Formation? Yeah, I think given a white-black deck, this is a given. Orzhov Guildgate's great, but I really like Consign to the Pit. More removal. Oh, Consecrate Consume. Great, great card. Takes their most powerful creature and gives you life for it. Looks like whoever's passing to me is not in my colors, which is nice. Mirror March is a fun card, but it's not going to go into my deck. Resolute Watchdog's pretty good. Impassioned Orator. I think I need more creatures, so I'm going to take the Order over Consign to the Pit. Vindictive Vampire's not bad here. Neither is Summary Judgment. Again, let me see how many non-creatures I have. 1. Quench can go in the sideboard. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. Yeah, I'm going to go ahead and take the Vindictive Vampire. Adds a nice Aristocrats effect for players who play during the popularity of Aristocrats decks. Again, now another difficult choice. Vizkopa Vampire has really overachieved. It's great to trade with 2 or 3 power creature or 2 or 3 toughness creatures, and gains you 3 life in the process. I know I could stack and play a deck with like 6 or 7 Grasping Thralls at this rate. I'm going to take the Vizkopa Vampire though. Imperialist Oligarch. Not the most spectacular creature, but at least it does replace itself when it dies. Oh, okay. I am so tempted to take Carnival Carnage, but I think I'm going to take Orzhov Locket instead. It fits better into the deck. Twilight Panther. It's pretty good. Orzhov Guildgate. Pegasus over Giant. Pegasus isn't a great creature. Resolute Watchdog's alright. Well, I guess I'll take another Summary Judgment if you insist. Goblin Gathering. Alright. Pack 3. Simic Ascendancy. Dead Rebels is in the pack. We'll see if it wheels. Best card, honestly, out of this right now is Mortify. I think it's pretty well a snap pick. And then, to top it off, a Basilica Bellhaunt, which is just a fantastic creature. It's like, Tithe Taker. Certainly not a bad creature. Undercity's Embrace. It doesn't have that much use, unfortunately. I mean, I would love to say that it's the next Diabolic Edict, but it's not. By the time you get to 3 mana, they're going to have more than one creature, so your only thing you're really doing is destroying their weakest creature. Tithe Taker is a decent creature. I'll take it. And I'm going to take 1 Dead Rebels now. Okay, so choices. 10th District Veterans, not bad. Cynic Griffin can be good. Blade Juggler's great. Let's go with the 10th District Veteran, I think. Probably the wrong one. That's alright. Dovin's Acuity and Lawmage's Binding. Man, if I were in those colors, those would be nice. Instead, we got another veteran. Never been too big on pump spells, so we're going to take the Order instead, gain some extra life early. Civic Stalwart's pretty good. Cynic Griffin's great. Justicar's Portal is a great combat trick. I think the Stalwart's going to get the nod for aggressive play. Well, Housed Officer's the best one in there. I'm going to go ahead and take a Cynic Griffin this time, have an extra flyer. I have 2 Twilight Panthers, so I guess Summary Judgment. The other Housed Officer, you can't go wrong. Alright, a 3rd Twilight Panther. May end up cutting some of them. Though at the very least, they will slow my opponent's offense down. Apparently, I probably have a playset of Tithe Taker already. So 20 gems. Can't go wrong with 20 gems, right? Alright, I have way too many cards in the deck. So Bring to Trial is going to go, because I don't see Bring to Trial being nearly as useful. I've got a lot of removal. One 3 Defender, I don't think anything I have is good enough that I need to worry about making it indestructible. 2 Noxious Grudians, 3 Twilight Panthers, seems good. I'm not so sure about Concordia Pegasus. I guess I like flyers. Up, Rakdos Comforter can go. I don't have the red mana in the deck to make it useful. Unbreakable Formation. That one is going to be a bomb. The biggest problem is I really don't want to cut too many of my high-end cards. And clear the stage. Well, there's the biggest problem with my deck I just noticed. I don't have any 4-power creatures. So clear the stage becomes 5 mana, -3/-3, which is kind of... I've got a lot of removal. I think I can cut that one safely. I'm always hesitant to cut creatures on the lower end of the mana range. I want to try and keep Locket. Usually I cut Lockets. I really would like to keep them this time. Oh, but I'm going back and forth on it. Yes, to draw 2 cards is nice. And a little bit of mana ramping can be good, but... How many non-creature spells do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10? Am I counting that? Freya! Sorry, my daughter has decided to dump her dinner all over the table and floor. 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. Okay, 9. 1, 2, 3, 4, 7, 8, 9. Okay. I can count honest. Now, I still gotta cut 8 cards. At least I'm in the place of having enough cards to work with that I can actually not. I actually have to think about what I want to cut rather than going, well, cut this, boom, I'm done. I guess I'll play these crappy cards to help fill out the 40 card deck. Hmm. I want to hit my land drop, so I'm really hesitant to drop to 16 lands. Drop a Twilight Panther. We're going to drop the Concordia Pegasus. Yes, it's a flyer, but I don't have any ways to pump it, so it's a 1/3 flyer. It's not going to do a lot of damage. I have better flyers in the deck. Oh, after you dumped your peas in the table, now you'll eat your peas. Off the table. 2-year-olds, what are you going to do? Well, she's not 2 till next month, but you know. Man, this is tough. It's becoming really tempting to drop to 16 lands since I only have 5 spells above 4 mana. You know, I'm going to go ahead and do that. I can always add the land back in later if it turns out I'm drawing light on mana. I probably won't draw Imperialist Oligarch with the mana up often enough to make it worthwhile. And honestly, the Oligarch is not that great. It's only a 2/1. It's blanked by a lot of creatures. The Afterlife one's nice, but it can be blanked way too often. Seems like it's a good one to drop in Yell Surprise. Trying to curve and be aggressive, yeah. Drop the Pegasus because it's alright earlier, pretty much. I don't know why all the chat messages came in at once. So I'm not sure which one you're referring to as drop and yell surprise. The Unbreakable Formation absolutely is. But yeah, I'm trying, with a deck like this, I don't have a lot of high power creatures. If the game lasts too long, eventually I think my opponents will outvalue me. So I want every creature that I'm playing in the deck to have some kind of decent value associated with it. And the Concordia Pegasus does not do enough for the mana. I mean, honestly, Twilight Panther isn't there for damage. It's there to stall the ground game quite a bit, keep my opponent's big stuff from coming over and hurting. The indestructible card. Oh yeah, I've seen some white weenie decks to run Unbreakable Formation, and it's absurd. You sit there and think you're going to get a good trade, or maybe even a big advantage over it, and all of a sudden they drop this, and it's like, well, I guess I'm going to lose all my creatures, and you're not going to lose anything. And if it's your turn, the +1/+1 counter and vigilance, if your opponent's low on life, pretty much guarantees you're either going to win the game or wreck their board. And Bellhaunt, despite the really difficult casting cost, is such a good card. It's absurd. The only thing it's missing is flying, but flying would just make it too broken, I think. I like Blade Juggler because you're usually going to cast this for 3 mana, and it replaces itself. Grasping Thrall, I mean, come on. Chalk your opponent, you gain 2 life, you get a 3/3 flyer for 5 mana. It's value town. Vindictive Vampire, I like just because it's going, if your opponent's low on life, it makes it even more difficult for them to block. It places them in a position where attacking too aggressively could kill them, or if they block, they're damned if they do and damned if they don't. I've still got to drop 3 friggin' cards. I know I said I like the Civic Stalwart. I'm not For 4 mana, 3/3, yes, you get 1 turn pump, but I don't know how often that's going to work for me. I may be end up with this deck just being completely wrecked by other players. We shall see. Oh, 16 land. All these cards, what am I going to play? I really don't want to drop Senate Griffin because it is a 3 mana flyer. But I'm also hesitant to drop anything on the lower end of the scale just because they could come in handy. It's almost tempting if I'm going to go for a really aggressive deck to drop the Twilight Panther and not worry about my opponent's board as much because they do have a lot of removal for their big creatures. So let's try that. We'll get rid of the Twilight Panthers. We can this kind of a draft format. You'll notice the draft text up here in the corner. It's what they call a continual build format, which means between rounds you can make changes to your deck that stick with the deck. So if I decide after first game that it's just not going to work the way I built it, I can go back and rebuild it. I've seen people in drafts, or a sealed deck rather, like a pre-release, who had enough cards in their stuff to build 2 decent decks, who hated their deck the first round, switched entirely over to a different set of colors and a different deck, basically, thanks to continual build. Now, in the pros, you can't do that. They don't have continual build. Whatever you build, you're stuck with for those next 3 rounds or whatever. So, let's see if I can eventually get a game. There we go. Also, I'm going to see if I can't move this monitor over a little bit. Maybe it might let me see things a little bit better. So, not a great opening hand, but I am on the play, and I have enough cheap stuff that it's alright. I think I can play it out and see what happens against Big Bad Blubber. They're showing the Rakdos right out of the gates. Well, if I get another swamp, I got a 4th turn Basilica Bellhaunt. My opponent with nothing so far. Theater of Horrors. Beginning or keep exile the top card of your library. During your turn, if your opponent lost life this turn, you may play cards exiled. 4 damage, deal 1 damage to target opponent or planeswalker. Huh. I knew the card existed, I just hadn't seen it. Did not see the swamp. That means Vindictive Vampire. It is a land. Only if I lose life may they play the cards exiled with it. So they could get their land by tapping 4 now and dealing a point of damage to me. But they've already played a land this turn. Now, the advantage of Theater of Horrors is that all the cards that go under Theater of Horrors don't just go away at the end. Are you kidding me? See, this is why I worry about that risk of cutting a land. So they're going to continue stacking cards under Theater of Horror, and if I can get Mortify, I can destroy it. Night of Sorrows. So it's an Afterlife 1 creature. We'll go ahead and consume that. It replaces a 3/3 with a 1/1. It'll trigger this. The 1/1 will still be able to trigger Spectacle, unfortunately. 2 Burning Tree. But until I draw another land, I don't have a choice in that matter. Another land gives me Grasping Thrall. That's going to get a counter. No reason not to. Well, so far, I'm not drawing any of my cheap stuff. So wow, double Theater of Horrors. This is really irritating me. 16 land, I shouldn't be getting mana screwed. I've got 12 land left in the deck, so almost half my deck is land. All I've drawn are I only have like 4 or 5 cards that are expensive, and I literally have drawn every single one of them. Every single one of them. But they're going to get all the card advantage using those Theater of Horrors. I don't think I could survive long enough to outlast them until they deck themselves. Oh, and a Death Touch Enforcer. We'll see. It's a Guildgate. You know what? Screw it. I'll move on to the next game. Because by the time I drop the Guildgate, I'm not going to get anywhere. I still can't play anything that turn. They're going to add to their board and have an even bigger offense. It's not like I have board sweepers. So probably should have taken a mulligan with that hand. This is so far not going to help my rank any. Well, we'll see. Again, I seem to be bound and determined to draw all of my high-end spells rather than my low-end spells. It's possible I cut too many of my low-end spells. I may have to look into an actual backdrop behind me. I could just hang a green sheet or something, I suppose. And yeah, I need to draw land next turn. Are you kidding me? Yeah, I don't hear people complain about bad mana luck with them. This is 2 games straight now. I'll take the 1 this turn. The only advantage I have is so far they're on 2 land as well. Okay. They may have a land in hand. I'm not sure what's going on. Did I lose internet connection? Hope not. My turn. You decide to pass priority to me. Land number 3. Okay. I can start doing something. Since District Veteran as a 2/3 blocks the Impassioned Orator pretty handily. The way they're looking at my creature, though, I don't like that. Feral Maca. Okay, Feral Maca doesn't bother me much. I got land number 3. Concordia Pegasus, of course. I did not get land number 3. You know what I'm going to go ahead and do? I'm going to go ahead and attack and see what they do. They could double block, but it means I can get rid of the Orator. If they don't, yep, I can now Spectacle in the Blade Juggler. Well, it's not a land. On the other hand, it's 1 less non-land card off the top of my deck. I'm going to have to go back up to 17. There's just no ifs, ands, or buts. I can't have... I'm playing a more aggro deck. Okay, what kind of a friggin' idiot actually plays Land Destruction main? If I wasn't for the fact I'm not drawing land, this would be an easy match to win. Because nobody in their right mind should be playing Land Destruction main. I'm sorry, Iron Birdie. That's just really bad magic. Sadly, the only time I seem to play against those kind of decks is when I'm not drawing land. Yeah, screw it. There goes your damn offense. See if they want to block. Feral Maca? Yeah, Feral Maca is probably a better choice. Alright, Noxious Grouding can come down next turn and we'll deal with that nonsense. Or better yet, the Vizkopa Vampire. Gain some life. Wall blocking. At some point I'll draw more land, then I'll actually be able to get into this game. The biggest problem with land destruction in the main in a draft like this is only punishes an opponent if they're mana starved like this. You're basically kicking somebody who's already down. Otherwise, most of the time, if your opponent's got 8 land and you draw it's a dead card. Yeah, you get the Scry off of Rebel Reading, Scry 2, but the Scry 2 is not worth wasting a slot in your deck to destroy a land. Alright, I'm going to go ahead and drop my own flyer, which gets me a Scry and gives me an offensive unit in the air. The Scry will hopefully reveal a land off the top once my opponent decides to go ahead and respond. Yeah, I'm a Scry Summary Judgment to the bottom. I'm not that worried about Summary Judgment right now. I don't know if my opponent's playing on full control or they're just slow to hit resolve. Watchful Giant. Alright, well, Noxious Crudian deals with that. They can gain some life. I'm not big worry about that. A couple more mana consigned to the pit can deal with anything they have. If I draw a land, though, I may just go ahead and take the grasp or play the Grasping Thrall to help further my offense. Because taking 3 from Watchful Giant, yeah, it puts me down to 10, but it's not that big a deal. Looks like they're just slow. Yeah, I know. This is one of my biggest pet peeves with Arena is players who just cannot seem to play at a decent rate of speed. So that's 5 of damage, effectively. 2 from the Grasping Thrall, 3 from the Cynic Griffin in one turn, plus I gained 2. So I went from being behind to, yes, they have a bigger board than me at the moment, but I've still got an advantage overall. Watchful Giant is almost certain to come over, and there's going to be no blocks. Go ahead and do the 3. One more land, I could just drop Consign to the Pit on it. Well, there you go. Let's see if they've got a response. Looks like they might. Justicar's Portal. Well, it's always a risk. Not a bad play on their part. Well, let's get offensive. With 6 mana, I can drop the Grudian and the Hast Officer and swing for 7 in the air. Let's see if they're going to go to combat. Justicar Portal's a good card. Anyone who says otherwise is full of it. Go to 9. What do you got second main? Daggercaster, deal 1 damage. Oh, that sucks. I lose the Viscopa Vampire. That's 1 less blocker. Alright, so, Vindictive Vampire, since I drew a mana. Hold on, let me count. So, I have 3 blockers. They will have 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 attackers. If I block the 3, 6... I tell you what. We're just going to send the Grasping Thrall for the moment. Vindictive Vampire is going to help gain me a little bit of life. Ah, them and their life gain. Oh, now they decided they don't want to swing with the Watchful Giant. Civic Stalwart. Interesting, interesting. Probably not the best block. But I still have a clock with the Grasping Thrall. Oh, that's nice. So let's go ahead and attack with the Thrall. That way I can Spectacles in the Dead Revels. bringing back the Cynic Griffin, and we'll do the Viscopa Vampire as well for the lifelink. Uh-oh. I don't like the way they're looking at my Grasp and Thrall. Okay. This could hurt. Alright, Noxious Grudion, of course, is going to block that. Ugh, this is going to hurt. That still takes 12. Oop. Alright, let me untap all these. I don't think I have any choice but to basically lose my board. Go to 2, but gain 4 life. Or 3 life, I guess. Oh, they were at 3. I could have killed them. Son of a gun. I'm a doofus. They're probably sitting there thinking, why didn't he kill me? Well, because I'm a doofus. There's the full-out attack. I don't know if this is going to be enough. I haven't done the math. Well, they all do 2 damage. So let's go ahead and block there and block there. 2, 4, 5, 6, but I'll gain 3 off the Viscopa Vampire. So if I lose this game, I got no one to blame but myself. Because I threw away a win. Okay, I'm pretty sure with the lifelink, you're still not going to beat me. Oh, okay. Despite my epic screw-up on that one, I still won the game. I never promised that I was a pro. Ever in my life have I ever promised I was a pro. There was a point in time when I might have made it as a grinder on the Pro Tour, but I had no desire to go to the trouble of grinding out Pro Tour after Pro Tour trying to get a top 8 or something. Especially since my experiences with competitive Magic have been less than great at times, with people who just simply do not know how to be decent human beings. You know, I should have gone back up to 17, but here I am forgetting. But on the other hand, I am getting to play first for like the 3rd time in a row. Well, I can go straight into an Impassioned Orator. We'll see if I draw land number 3. Gotta remind myself after this game to make adjustment, add 17th land back in. Really? And there's a land off the top. 2 of them, really. Dead Revels, Final Payment. Friggin' Wall of Lost Thoughts. Why am I being paired up against bad Magic players? And you can sit here and say, oh, you're just sour grapes, but seriously, people playing suboptimal crap over and over again. Unfortunately, I finally draw a land, but it's my freaking Guildgate. Okay, what is the adapt on it? 5. Adapt 2. Each creature you control with +1/+1 on it has flying. That may get mortified. Especially if I can catch him at 6 mana. I may wait for them to go to 6 mana, go to adapt, and then mortify it. I'm going to go ahead and pass. We'll see if they go ahead and drop land number 6 and adapt. I also need to try and play around Quench or Thought Erasure or whatever. Well, I had to use Mortify early and on the different targets. But thankfully they didn't have the counterspell. Took the risk, it paid off. Alright, this plays around Quench. I know they don't have it because I just freaking cast a spell into it and didn't get countered. But it's a good habit to get into. Also a good habit to remember what your opponent probably has or doesn't have. Well, land number 6. They get to adapt it now, making it a 4/5 flyer. Well, we can just start gaining some life. Go wide. Worst comes to worst, drop Unbreakable Formation on my turn and really do some damage. Alright, I need a removal spell. Oh, speak of the devil. I'll gain some 8 life, please. Thank you. Yep, might have to drop 1 or 2 more creatures before I worry about the Unbreakable Formation. Make sure that the attack is really going to be lethal. Growth Spiral, okay. You don't have a gate, though. That's the important thing. 3/3. Thrillsville. Gravelhide Goblin. Again, Thrillsville. Trying to decide what I wanted to play. If it was Vindictive Vampire or Grasping Thrall, I think I'll just gain some life. They've got enough weak targets to throw in front of Noxious Grudian now, like the Gravelhide Goblin. I'm not going to worry about it. They could swing for 7 in the air, but I'm at 32 life, so I'm not real worried about it. Well, thankfully you don't have any multicolored creatures, but they've got 1 card in hand. That bugs me. Alright, next turn I should be set up for the Unbreakable Formation. So far, looks like they've got something in their hand they can cast. We're going to go ahead and swing with the Grudian this time, see if they block with the Clan Wrecker. Or they could block, yeah, Gravelhide Goblin after pumping, which is fine too. Takes 1 more creature off the board. 36 to 10 life. I'm in good shape. I just really have to land the Unbreakable Formation to go for the... Ah, excellent. Empty hand. Okay, they took all the counters off. Nope, I don't want to cast that. I want to cast the Noxious Grudian. I want to cast... Okay, yeah, I gain 2 life. Unbreakable Formation. And all attack. With Vigilance. They didn't even bother trying to declare blocks. I can't blame them. All right, now, prize draft deck. Let's go back to the draft deck. Let's go swamp. Click on land, add the swamp in, boom. All right, now I got to discard a card from the deck to make room for it. Haven't really needed Summary Judgment much yet. Nice recovery, thank you. I wasn't too worried that game. I thought I had control of things pretty well, especially once I drew the Consume to eat the 8/8 Gate Colossus. Of course, I had to hope they didn't draw another gate immediately. Because if they do, it just comes back. I guess I could have used the... Well, no, I used Consume to kill it. So I couldn't use the opposite side to exile it from the graveyard. My opponent gets to go first this time. I'm going to open with an Orzhov Guildgate. Second turn, Impassioned Orator, and maybe third turn, Hazed Officer. Or if I can get the Order in, I could Blade Juggler turn 3. Bellhaunt turn 4 is going to be nice. Or very nice. Blue player. Pyronite 1000. So entirely possible they've got a little counter magic. Nope, they've got a Sour Form hybrid. So let's... What I'm going to do, I'm going to see if they want to trade. And if they don't, I get a Blade Juggler. If they do, I get either an Order or an Officer. Apparently my attack has confused them. ExParrot used aggressive attack. It's super effective. By the way, shout out to BearCave33 who's watching the stream. It's my brother. And he streams Rocksmith and plays the guitar just like Ziggy Stardust and kicks ass at it. Whereas I do not kick ass with the guitar. He also has gotten back into Magic. He'll be streaming some Arena. So check out his Twitch channel, BearCave33, if you're interested in seeing some Rocksmith or some other Magic. He's an old school player like me, got into it at the same time, around the time of Exodus / Urza's Saga. He just took a long break. My opponent, however, appears to be timing out. Don't know if they lost connection or if this is some kind of a... I broke their brain with the attack. Let's just go with that. They're roping. Awesome. Brilliant. Wonderful. Well, we'll see how that works. If they decide they're going to continue doing it, or if... Well, they may have just had to step away from the computer. Let's give them the benefit of the doubt. Maybe they had to step away from the computer for a moment. Not really what? Yes, you play the guitar well. I'm not going to cast the Basilica Bellhaunt because I'm worried they may actually have some counter magic. They're stalled at 3 mana, which is great for me and bad for them. Okay, they're going to take out the Blade Juggler. I am fine trading a Blade Juggler for Solar Form Hybrid, even though they don't have the 6 mana right now. At some point they could. Oh, Deputy of Detention eating my Orators. Can't consign this turn, but I can eat their hand. And you're welcome for the shout out, BearCave33. Maybe my opponent really has laggy internet. Excuse me, I'm going to mute the mic real quick about the cough. Thank you. Choose attackers. None. Really like to consign to the pit, but I'm worried when they got 4 mana up like this and a handful of cards. So I'm going to pass this turn. Let's say they may throw out a different threat. So let's go ahead and free my orders from their unjust imprisonment. Tithe Taker is going to be nice. I remember the Tithe Taker's in there, so all of their spells and abilities cost 1 more to activate. I still have Consume and a Hazda Officer to drop to pump up the Basilica Bellhaunt next turn. Or actually, I could pump up the Orator, one of the Orators, and make it a 3/3. Really? Really? That's the way you're going to play it? Let's see, if I make that a 4/5, I can't take out their... So let's take out the Forbidden Spirit. I can still attack with Bellhaunt, just paying the 2 for it. Put him to 5. Tap land. They'll probably drop another blocker. Oh, and it's definitely a very nice blocker, I must admit. If I attack now, they can block 2 of my creatures and they go down to 1. I think it's worth losing my Basilica Bellhaunt. Yeah, either way. Oh, you're going to let me keep my Basilica Bellhaunt, take out an Orator instead? I'm at 35 life. I don't think gaining more life is a big deal for me right now. Okay, they're going to gain some life. But here's the biggest problem. They're at 2 life. They've got 3 blockers. I've got 5 attackers. Game's over. There we go. Move up to Silver Tier 2. The last ranked draft they were doing was Rivals of Ixalan, which is not a format that I really cared to draft, which is why my limited rank is still pretty eh. But I plan on trying to get a lot of these drafts done, even if I don't stream them all or record them all, just so I can try and build up my limited rank, because I'm not going to be building up my standard rank. There's just no way. Opponent goes first. Not a spectacular hand, but I'll keep it. I can lead off with the Guild Gate. Hope to draw into something good on turn 2. Or even turn 1, come to think of it, since I'm on the draw. Grudian's alright. It's a turn 3 play, though. With Final Payment, one nice thing that it can do is if somebody plays like Captive Audience, you can sacrifice the enchantment, I believe, to really hurt them. Let's try the Grudy and see if they got a quench. They do not. Excuse me. I doubt they'll block. And they'll probably crack back at me next turn, but I'm not that worried about it. I just wanted to get a little damage in early. At some point I can drop a final payment to really jack with the Axebane Beast. Alright, I've got to leave back to Grudian. They've got a 3-3 and that. So as much as I hate to do it, I'm going to cast the Blade Juggler for 5. Get that card draw in. Yeah, my lands are much more consistent now. They go to 17. Go figure. Well, frustrating. But it looks like we should be able to do some nice trading and clear the board. Sorrowform Hybrid. Alright, so Tithe Taker, 10th District Veteran, even though, well, not a huge deal. But I can always final payment the Tithe Taker and get a 1-1 out of the deal. We'll see if they draw land number 6 and immediately adapt the hybrid. Incubation. Alright, they're going to look for a creature card. I've actually whiffed off of this in friggin' draft. It's annoying when that happens. They reveal Footlight Fiend, a creature I really like. Well, that's interesting. Footlight Fiend can ping the Tithe Taker off the board, and this will give me a 1-1 that I can use. Okay. No issues. I can now final payment to kill the... Or actually, never mind. We'll just go ahead and Summary Judgment. Even better. Go ahead and target the Blade Juggler and the Grudian. Because Blade Juggler off the Spectacle, even not off the Spectacle, is going to let me dig deeper into my deck. That timely draw allowed me to keep my final payment for a bigger threat. Really? Well, drew another land. I'll have Unbreakable Formation in hand here for at some point in the future when I need to just wreck them. They're going to go ahead and loot. Now, we'll block with the 2-3. I'd rather have 3 power on the board than 2 power. I'm surprised Footlight Fiend hasn't been cast yet. Rebel Slinger, okay. And the Footlight Fiend, alright. And I am flooding out. We're both kind of on top deck mode at the moment. I mean, Unbreakable Formation is a possibility to kind of force a blowout situation. Especially with the Rampaging Rinhorn. Good lord. I don't want to pay 5 life for final payment. So the Spirit's going to get the axe at some... Oh! Crud. Fine. I forgot about the... Target a creature, Rinhorn. Sacrifice this creature. I forgot about the reach. That was my mistake. That kind of forced my hand early. There's the icon right there. Rebel Slinger has reach. But me, a doofus, doesn't pay attention. Really? I'm not going to fight it. I'm going to let it resolve. If they even want to swing for 3, I'm fine with that. I'll take it this turn. No blocks. Pass turn. Thank you. Oh my lord. Now I'm flooding. Bad. Bad flood. Alright, let's kill their board. Yeah, I thought they might have another Colossus. So I will go to 2 now. And take 3 more. Well, Mana Flood sucks. Rank up protection, keeping me from losing a rank there. So I'm 3 and 2, which is not good for me. Usually I do better than this. So if I lose this next game, I may do another draft immediately. ExParrot versus Mav. Maybe my deck just isn't as good as I thought it was, and I'm drawing really terrible. I mean, my opening hands I'm not seeing my 2-drops very often. Now my opponent gets to play first for what, second or third time in a row? See what I mean? It goes in streaks in this game. I have my notebook. I really should be keeping track of this. My opponent taking an awful long time to decide if they want to keep their hand or not. While they're waiting, I will point out that this video is being recorded, the stream, and that it will go up my YouTube channel tonight. You can find it by searching for ExParrot. I think it's just ExParrot. Or is it ExParrot 42? Yeah, I don't even know what my damn YouTube channel's called at this point. That's what happens when you don't stream for a while. I believe it's ExParrot 42. Give me a second to see if it'll let me even see. All right. Apparently YouTube is going to be a pain in my butt all of a sudden. Not respond to me. Target a creature I control. That one right there. ExParrot 42. Yeah, verified it. Also, the second Mythic Championship for Wizards from Magic the Gathering will be live. I believe starting Thursday. They're going to start their events. I'm not liking this so far. I really feel like I'm in a bad situation. Alright, we'll trade here. I really don't want to mortify the Rakdos Trumpeter unless they decide to pump. Taking 1 isn't that big a deal. I mean, worst comes to worst, I could just drop Blade Juggler for the full cost next turn. Deciding playing Undercity Scavenger. Are they going to sacrifice another creature? I would about to say I would be very pleased if they did. I'm going to limit the damage I'm going to take. Hey, that's a good draw. Grasping Thrall. Okay, they're going to go ahead and pump, which means they don't have anything better to play, which is really interesting. So I'm going to start attacking back, play my own Grasping Thrall to make a little swap in life. And look at that. I'm at 16, they're at 15. I've got a better board state. The fact that they don't have anything to play on 4 is big for me. Or at least that's what they were suggesting by pumping the Rakdos Trumpeter. They spent all of their mana rather than casting another creature or spell second main. I've also got Consume, and I've got Unbreakable Formation in hand, which also puts me in a good position. Okay. Swinging for 1, which triggers Spectacle. Skewer the critics. That's what I was worried about. Oh, what a top deck. Now all of a sudden my deck decides it really wants to draw good cards. So they dropped a Daggercaster, which they could have cast. I'm a little confused, I will admit. Daggercaster gives them another creature on the board. So I'm not sure why they're not casting it, unless they really just wanted to keep a handful of other more useful. I don't know. The turn they pumped the Rakdos Trumpeter, I would have not bothered pumping the Trumpeter. I would have put another creature on the board. But I can't see in their hand what's going on. Okay, I think I can go ahead and take 3 more from the Basilica Bell Hunt this turn. I'm not too worried about it. I'll take 4. So then I'm going to turn around and do 6 to you. And draw land. Awesome. I can take one of their blockers out next turn with Consume, which will be in this case be the Core Clan Wrecker. Wow, here comes the land. It's what you get for putting 17 back, or your 17th land back in, right? This forces a block against the Rakdos Trumpeter, and they're going to go ahead and concede. Yeah, pardon me for 1 second here while I try and dip down out of camera range. I gotta get used to being on camera again. I haven't streamed with the camera on me since I used to do Friday Night Magic streaming for our local gaming store before it closed. Pet draw of my opponent. Currently 4-2. A couple of Noxious Grudians. I've got the 3 land. This is the first decent opening hand I've seen, and they went to 6. So I played first the first 3 games. Now my opponents have gotten to play first the next 3 games. It's made for a very interesting set of circumstances. I guess Consume is more what I'm going to use. Sauroform Hybrid. Not much I can do about that one right now. A Simic Locket. Well, they're going to ramp a little bit. My turn. I guess I could have cast Summary Judgment at the end of turn. Here I am, getting distracted, making mistakes. They do not have 6 mana to adapt 4 yet, but it looks like they may have a kill spell or something for my Grudian. Do they have a pump spell? Won't matter. Nope, just straight up trade. Gruul Beastmaster. Well, the fun part for you is my second Noxious Grudian. Me looking for another land. I mean, worst comes to worst, I could Consecrate and basically play the cantrip to draw a card. Core Clan Wrecker. Ugh. It's getting worse. Steel's getting worse by the minute. I'm going to have to hold back Summary Judgment for that. They're almost certain to attack with it. If they have a pump spell, my Summary Judgment could be an issue, but okay, that worked out well. Worked out very well. Belt Recluse, come on, land! This is not a land. What in the world? I need to cast Consume. Drop a Tithe Taker. At least when it blocks the Recluse, I'll get a 1/1 that can block the next turn. But the worst problem is I don't have... I caught them tapped out last turn. That would have been the time to do it when they're still tapped out. Mammoth Spider is an annoyance, but can be dealt with. Until I can draw the land. Mammoth Spider has reach, remember that. Take 3 from the spider. Hopefully at some point here stop being mana screwed. My opponent has got a handful of cards. And a locket. Well, no, they're out of cards now. This is when I need to start drawing land so I can start playing spells. Of course, now Consume could eat their Brush Strider instead of the Mammoth Spider. We'd like to get those 2 Noxious Grudians back in a pinch. Okay, they're tapped out. Hey, land number 4. Not enough to cast the Cynic Griffin. It is enough to cast this guy. Gain a life. I'm not going to attack. But if I can put enough of a board down, it may slow them down. Okay, now I have a target for Consume. Oh, I gave it haste. That's going to hurt, but at least I'll gain 6 life back after I consume it. Alright, try and get this back under control again. Even with the very short amount of mana I have. Yeah, I'll trade. Rebel Slinger, well... yeah. Look for a land out of the deck and play it. Well, I have a target for final payment now. Follow up the veteran. This will probably force a trade because I don't think they want to give me 3 life a turn. Mm-hmm. But now I'm getting land. I'm in a better position. Okay, that land can go to the bottom. I don't need more swamps. No attacks. The really caretaker in the way. They drew another land. They're flooding. Really? Fine. Honestly, I don't see anything in the graveyard that immediately says, well, I should have cast this before. I'm a doofus. Could have cast that before, pumped up the Griffin, done some damage. Instead, here I am being a doofus. Aw, really? Now I'm going to flood out myself. Alright, so. Cynic Griffin flies through the air with the greatest of ease. The daring young Griffin on the flying trapeze. Spectacle. Grudian. Just to annoy my opponent. 2 death touch creatures. No waiting. Tin Street Dodger is nothing I'm worried about. Okay, I guess I could start taking 1 a turn from the Tin Street Dodger. It's not much of a clock, especially when I top deck Grasping Thrall. Alright, Griffin and 1 Grudian. Come over and say hi. Yeah, Caretaker's not really doing them any good at the moment. And wow, okay, so 7, 8, 9, 10, 11 of their lands. Compared to 8 of mine. Hybrid's not going to attack, go figure. Oh, Bellhaunt, I mean, is not going to discard any cards on the opponent's hand, but 3 life and a 3/4 body. Can't go wrong. Swing 8. Might get my next win here. Incubation, looking for a miracle. Because the other half of it, to exile a creature. I wonder if they have a Frilled Mystic. I don't think it's as useful when you know your opponent has it. Can't really get that surprise factor. And the ICR is Raging Swordtooth. Meh. So hey, 5 wins. 1 more win and I pass the break-even point. I guess 5 and 2 on a draft isn't too bad. Of course, now that I've been streaming for 1 hour and 20 on this, I probably won't have time for a second draft. Unblarpable. I like that name. I don't know why. My opponent gets to go first again. My hand is keepable. 4 lands, 3 spells that are 3 or less. Unbreakable Formation is not going to be useful now, but it will be down the road. Plague White. That's going to get a summary judgment up its butt. Because Plague White is just so hard to block. Thirsting Shade. Such utter garbage of a creature. Way too much work for what it entails. Ill-Gotten Inheritance. Well, lovely. It's one of those decks. Wish I had the Basilica Bell Hunt in my hand. It'd be really handy right about now. I'm going to drop that instead of the Viscopa Vampire. With any luck, I might get Mortify. Ah, their own Grudian. Well, Unbreakable Formation will be able to break up that stalemate, but not this turn. Next turn. Probably swing and then cast it after blocks. I won't get the +1/+1 in Vigilance, but it'll work for a better surprise. And I suspect they're like, why are they attacking like this? What are they hoping to accomplish? This! Supplies! Oh man, that board looks so much better now. Much more squared away. Yeah, squared away. I expect to see the 1/1, yeah. Second main, Spectacle. Nope, Footlight Fiend. Undercity Scavenger, sacrificing Footlight Fiend, which will kill the Viscopa Vampire. You know you wanna. Come on. There you go. Alright, not a land. Good deal. Unfortunately, Spectacle is not going to be available. Draw a land off the top. Ugh. Scavenger has no special effect, right? Okay. Ill-Gotten Inheritance is eventually going to eat up my life total, so I can't sit here forever. Oh. Oh. And land. I'll give it another turn. If I don't see anything better, like another land next turn, then I'll go ahead and call it. Because I'll be too far behind at that point to win. Especially now that I've drawn 8 land, and I still have 2 in hand, so I only have 7 land remaining in the next 24 cards. Ah, Grasping Thrall. Alright. This puts us somewhere. I'm not sure where, but it gives us a chance. At the very least, it blocks the 1/1 and gives me a chance to attack back. They can deal 8 damage with those 2 Ill-Gotten Inheritances. But therein lies the problem. I mean, if I attack, they're gaining 2 life a turn. I think I've lost this game. I think I'm going to end up going 5-3 today. Which, it happens. I haven't managed a 7-win draft in a while. I've managed 5 and 6 consistently, though. What do they got? Blade Brand? Mm-hmm. Thought so, but had to take the risk. That sucks. Yeah, I'm done for the night. I'm drawn dead. Didn't see any ill-gotten inheritances, otherwise I would pick those up. So, we'll claim the prize. I only lost 100 gems total, which is not bad at all. I still have 8,400. We got 2 packs to open. Mass manipulation. I needed one of those. Bonus. Oh, got an uncommon wild card from that. An uncommon wild card from there. Electro Dominance. It's alright. So, 24 common, 18 uncommon, 3 rare, 2 mythic rare. So yeah, I'm going to go ahead and call it for this evening. I had fun. I hope you had fun. If not, let me know what I could be doing better. That's mainly for the people watching this on YouTube, if they watch it only on YouTube. And my next stream, usually I stream Friday nights around 7 to 7:30-ish Central. Depends on when the baby goes down, really, because I've got a almost 2-year-old, and she's the priority. But usually I do Mondays and Fridays. I'm going to see if I can't do a couple extra streams this week to catch up and to get some more ranked play in. Either way, I appreciate you watching. See ya, Space Cowboy.